Alright, so today we're going to be working on Microsoft Word, and we're going to be making a flyer. So you're going to go to Microsoft Word assignment, and you're just going to open up Create a Flyer. So there's all these steps that you need to follow, but I'm going to get you right into it. So a flyer, if you need an example of what one of these flyers might look like, flyer is just something that businesses hand out to try to attract people in. So it's short and to the point. There's a good one. One night only, right? There's a flyer for something. Haunted house. It really stands out and tells you the date. You can see this. I have this. You could just, it's on Google Flyer examples. You could type that in yourself or click on the link that I gave you guys and just have a look at some of these examples. Not all of them are great, but most of them are not too bad. So we're going to look at this. And we're going to be using Microsoft Word. So if you need to use Microsoft Word, click on your Start button. And you're going to find your apps up there. I already got Microsoft Word open. So you can choose to use a blank page, just like normal, and you can add some backgrounds to it. But we're going to open up a new one. There we go. We're going to go new. And we're going to use a template. So there's a whole bunch of different templates up here that you can use. We're going to be looking at flyers today. They have a whole bunch of these already. Thousands, in fact. Alright, so there's tons of flyers in here that they have that you can edit. Now, what you need to do is you need to come up with something that you want to advertise for. It could be anything in the world. It could be a birthday party. It could be a sale. I don't know, it looks like a pool thing. There's a sports event, something for Halloween. We're not American, but a 4th of July party, Valentine's Day party. So figure out an event that you want to advertise for. It could be your birthday. It could be bowling. It could be anything you feel like. Just come up with something and choose one that would be appropriate to that event. Now, we also have a whole bunch of categories over here. So you can scroll through there and you might be able to find something that you might like. So I'm going to choose, I'm going to have like a Christmas walk in the park. Let's go to Christmas. What do we have here? I like the look of this one. So it's got some background for me, and now I just need to edit all this information so they can put your holiday event. Now you don't have to keep all these font sizes to what you want. They choose some things here for you, but be creative in your titles and all the information in here. In fact, you actually have to. If we look back at our assignment, type the title of the flyer. So you're going to type in the title, and I'm just going to say, let's go. Christmas walk in the park. Walk in the park. Okay, so I got a title for it. Now what I also need to make sure I do, I need to use shadow or 3D effects to help grab the attention. So we want to be experimenting with some of these things. So to get to your shadow, we're going to be going to Design. And we have some different, oh, no, not design. So as I was saying, we're going to go up and we're going to be using either home or insert. Now, if we go to insert, we can do a couple things. We can do word art over here. So you can change all this and you can get some fancy effects here. Let's try this one. Okay, so we can change how this looks. Maybe I want it bigger. Or I want to fill the text with some other kind of color. I could change the color of it. Let's go with purple. Oop, wrong one. Not shape. No fill. I wanted the text purple. There we go. So that'll stand out a little bit more. What else can we do with it? We can put an outline around some of these things. We could put it around the box. We could put outline around the words themselves. Ooh, that looks ugly. That looks not too bad. I could put a gradient in here, however I want it. It might be a little hard on such skinny writing. Or you could add text effects. So this is what we need to be adding. We need to add some 3D stuff in here, or some transformation. So that's just kind of warping the text a little bit. Let's. Which one do I like? Oh, might take some looking for. I'm not too picky. We'll go with this one for now. You could add some other types of things. You could add some glow around it. Might make it feel a little bit warmer, a little less glow, a little more glow, however much you want. I'm kind of making mine ugly right now just to kind of show you. We could change the shape of these things by adding some more glow, bevel it, so heavy on the one side, light on the other. I won't do any of that. You can change how this word art works as well. So there's a lot of fun things you could do with, you could even edit the shape. Change the shape of these things you're working on and edit the points that we're moving these. And if you ever don't like what you've done, you can always go Control. So hold Control, Z, Z, Z. Now it's back to where I was. If you ever happen to make a mistake, or if you liked it the way it was, go Control Y. Y, Y, Y. And you can go back and forth that way. So I'm just going to keep it the way it was. Now the other thing we could do is, if we're on the home page, we can click any of these options up here, and there's a lot of different types of styles up here. I'm just going to keep the one that we had originally, and we can add some glows, shadows, reflections, all from this page as well. So we get a few options in different ways. So you can use the insert, the word art, and there's lots of things you could do with either one of those, and to be able to change your font around. Now you could do that with all of your information. Now let's center this. Let's go there. Now it's centered. So you can do that with all your information. Just make sure it's easily readable. The title should probably be the fanciest thing. You want this information down here, anything like that, where the address is, and any other information that your customers want to know. Make that pretty easy to read. This part doesn't need to stand out. This is the part that really needs to grab their attention. Now what else do we need to do? So we did that one. We need to add some clip art from there, and an image. Now an image is not the same as clip art. Clip arts are typically cartoon-like. So if we did winter clip art. Now, clip art is tough to find because sometimes they put writing across it. I actually don't see any here, so I'm kind of lucky. Here's one where you can see there's a background in there. Sometimes they don't want you to use these things, but it's not too hard to find some of these. Here's another one that you wouldn't be able to use because you can't really get rid of those. But there are lots of other things that you can use. I'm going to use this one for now. But there's a problem with it. You can see that we got that little Shutterstock.com, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want that, but I do like the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and this wasn't really part of the assignment, but just so you know what to do with this, I'm going to open up, let's just search for it, Paint. If you've never used Paint before, it's fantastic for being able to edit pictures to your liking. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to use, you can either do what I was just doing, cut it off that way, or maybe this isn't on the bottom of your page, maybe it's kind of on a corner, something like that. What you can use is just hit this little box there. This is the crop feature. Now we can use the box, which I suggest you use, or you can use the freeform. Freeform you'd be able to just cut out, if it's this girl you want to cut out. You can just cut her out and just kind of go around it, because if you had a box you wouldn't be able to. I'm just going to show you. Try to cut her out, you're going to get the other girl's hand. Okay? So we're going to use rectangle, but if you have something that's a little more detailed, you can use the freeform. And I'm just going to cut that off, hit delete. I'll shrink that up to the size I want. See a little white on the side. There. And that is it. I'm going to go cut. I'm using the keyboard. I went Control A to select the whole picture, and then Control C to copy it. and now I'm going to paste it over here. So it's a great way to get a picture if you have some extra writing on there you want to get rid of. It's an easy way to get rid of it, and it looks like it's my own. Now, the problem with this image is it doesn't really want to move around freely. So another thing that we're going to do is once you've clicked on your image, there's a little box here. These are our layout options. Now, right now, it's going to align everything with the text. That's the automatic default option that it gives you. What we want to select, and you could do any of these. You could go behind text, so if you do that one, the text goes in front of it. That's great if you want to make your own background. You don't have to use the background they give you. You can create your own background. You could have the image in front of the text. Don't know why, but I'm sure there are some reasons you might want to have that. But I'm going to choose tight. Now, tight allows me to click the picture and move it around, and the text that I was putting in there will move around for me. Okay, so I can put this picture anywhere, and the text will move around my picture for me. That's the only way to get to actually move your picture, because you saw before when it was on this option, it doesn't really want to move. I'm clicking and I'm holding it, and it's just not moving around the page for me. So in order to do that, click on your layout options, click on tight right there, and now you can start moving this thing around to wherever you like on your flyer. So I got one clip art thing there, and add some more. Since we need so many, you don't have to have them very large. All these things, they can be fairly small. Now, what else do we need? We need an image, so you can go ahead and get an image. You can put your own date, time, and place. Just make it up. Explain what's happening in the festivities. So that's what you'd put in this little part, what's going on there. Make sure you use the entire page. Okay, we want to make sure we fill the whole page. If you choose the flyer option, it does a good job of filling up the whole page for yourself. If you don't use one of those flyer options when we're opening up a new document and you want to make your own background, it's going to be plain white. So you're going to have to fill that space up with pictures and backgrounds, because if it's too little, let's say I didn't have this background, I only had the title and this picture here and a little bit of information, it's all white, it's ugly, no one's going to look at it. So we got to make sure that we fill up that white space. Too much, though, is also bad. So if I were to fill up this whole page with nothing but pictures, it's too crazy, too much stuff on there. You won't be able to tell what's going on. So you got to think about how large these pictures actually are. You don't want a picture this size filling up your page, because no one's going to look at it. Keep them nice and small, because you don't want to fill up too much space. We're going to insert a shape, and why don't we go ahead and do that? So we're just going to go to Insert, and there's all your shapes. So maybe it's a Christmas one, you could put in a star, but there's a whole bunch of things on here, or you could draw one yourself if you want to. But otherwise, tons of different shapes in here. Maybe a star might be good, an arrow on a map might be a good idea, but lots of different shapes you could put in there. Once we're all done, we're going to save our Word document, which is easy enough. So just hit Save As, and you can save it, browse, put it where you want. I suggest you put it in your H drive. I'll put mine in my, let's click on PC. Here's your H drive, so save it in there. But what I also want you to do is I want you to export this as well and turn it into a PDF. Now, PDF is something that is uneditable by other people. So if you ever sent this to somebody else, they wouldn't be able to edit it. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see that it says Save As PDF. Now, we don't want the XPF, so the automatic setting is PDF, but just make sure it is. And you could save it in the same spot. Save it in your H drive, and now you have it saved as a .word and a .pdf. Or I guess .doc. That's how I'll get saved at the end. But save it as the same thing, and what I want you to do after you've saved it as your Word document, so what I should see at the very end of it should look like flyer and then your first and last name, and what it'll say at the end is docx, and that just stands for a Word document. And this one will just say .pdf. And that's how the computer is able to tell what type of file you're using. Sorry about that break. The video maxed out, so I only needed a few more seconds. Anyways, once we have our files saved, you're going to need to upload both documents at the same time to Google Classroom for grading. So, I'm going to, it says look on Google Images, points for creativity and originality. Now, to upload those files, all you have to do, yours is going to look different than mine, so I'm just going to have to walk you through it. In order to add a file that's not from Google Docs, so Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint or PDF or anything like that, something that is not attached to Google, you are going to have to add something to it. So in order to do that, you're going to click on View Assignment. Now again, yours looks different than mine, but you're going to see a little blue button over here. It says Add. So you can add something to your assignment, and you can add whatever you need to it. So in this case, you're going to be attaching that PDF and the Microsoft Word document. Both of those, and then you just hit turn in, and it'll be just turned in just like normal. So make sure when you do that, click on View Assignment, and that gives you some more options to be able to add something to the assignment. Now we're going to be making sure we're going to be doing that on a few assignments, so make sure you know how to do that, and just keep your eyes open. You'll be able to see that, and then just hit turn in, and you're done. And that is it. So you guys can start working on creating a flyer. And remember, it's just all up to you what you want to do with it. It could be any type of organization or company or anything you want to advertise at all. So be creative, come up with something unique to yourself, maybe something that you enjoy personally, something that you wish maybe Swan River did or had, and just have fun with it. All right.